somewhere between opening your eyes and pouring that first cup of coffee. Your brain just entered its most dangerous hour of the day. And the scariest part, you're the one pulling the trigger without even knowing it. Every morning, millions of people over 60 wake up and follow the same comforting routine. Coffee, pills, a little breakfast, maybe scrolling the news in bed. Harmless, right? Wrong. What if I told you those normal habits could be silently starving your brain of oxygen, stiffening your arteries, even setting you up for a stroke, all before 9 a.m.? I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to warn you, protect you, and show you a better way. If you're over 60 and still believe in healing, subscribe now. This might just change your life. In 2023, the American Heart Association released a staggering report. Nearly 80% of strokes in older adults happen between 600 and 10 a.m., and the most critical window, the first 2 hours after waking. That's not coincidence, it's biology. While you sleep, your blood pressure drops, your heart rate slows, and your blood thickens slightly. Then when you wake up, your body must switch gears fast. And if you're over 60, that transition isn't always smooth. It's like asking an old car to go from 0 to 60 in 1 second. The engine strains, the parts groan, and your brain, it pays the price. Let's raise the stakes, because the countdown begins right now. For 7, bolting out of bed like a fire drill. You've done it for years. The alarm rings. You swing your legs over the bed. You stand up fast, ready to tackle the day. But here's the hidden truth. Your brain isn't ready yet, not even close. When you suddenly stand after 7-8 hours of lying flat, your blood pressure can drop by 20 points or more. That's called orthostatic hypotension. And for 10 to 15 seconds, your brain gets less oxygen. You might feel a little lightheaded. Maybe your vision narrows or your knees feel weak. But for many seniors, this isn't just a passing moment. It's a warning, a cry from your brain. Slow down, or I won't survive this morning. One of my patients, a retired teacher named Frank, thought these dizzy spells were just aging. But once we changed his wake-up routine, his symptoms disappeared within a week. What to do? Use the 90-second rule. 10 seconds of deep breathing while still lying down. 20 seconds of ankle and hand circles. 20 seconds to sit up slowly. 40 seconds with your feet on the floor before you stand. You don't need to race into your day. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is pause. Number 6. Skipping water and heading straight for coffee. It's a classic ritual. You shuffle into the kitchen half awake and reach for the lifeline, a hot cup of coffee. But here's the truth behind that comforting habit. After 7-8 hours without fluids, your body is mildly dehydrated. Your blood is thicker, your circulation is slower, and your brain, it's running on empty. Now add caffeine, a natural vasoconstrictor, meaning it shrinks blood vessels. That's like putting your foot on the gas with a clogged fuel line. One of my patients, David, came in with heart palpitations every morning. He thought it was his heart medication. But no, it was dehydration and coffee on an empty system. After just 1 week of drinking 8 ounces of room temperature water before coffee, his symptoms disappeared. Just 1 small glass, a simple, powerful act of prevention. What to do? Drink a full glass of water before caffeine. Add a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon for better absorption. Avoid cold water. It shocks the digestive system. Caffeine isn't the enemy, but drinking coffee before rehydrating is like trying to light a fire with wet matches. It burns, but it doesn't last. And your brain deserves better. 5. Eating healthy. Breakfasts that are loaded with hidden sodium. Margaret, one of my most health-conscious patients, started her days with instant oatmeal, whole grain toast, and a slice of low-fat turkey. She thought she was doing everything right. But when we look closer, her healthy breakfast was packing over 600 milligrams of sodium, all before 8 a.m. Here's why that matters. As we age, our arteries naturally stiffen. Now, add a morning sodium spike, and those vessels narrow even more, cutting off precious blood flow to the brain. It's like squeezing a garden hose and expecting more water to come out. It doesn't. It can't. And neither can your brain function the way it's meant to. Margaret's blood pressure was hitting 150/95 within 30 minutes of breakfast. After switching to plain oats with berries and cutting processed bread, her pressure dropped by 20 points and stayed there. What to do? Stick to 300 milligrams of sodium or less before 9 a.m. Avoid instant oatmeal packets, protein breads, deli meats. Build your plate 2 for 3 fruits and vegetables, 1 for 3 complex carbs, protein. Just because it has a health label doesn't mean it's safe for your brain. What you eat in the morning isn't just fuel, it's medicine. Or a trigger. Number 4. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach. We've all been there. You wake up sluggish, a little foggy. So you reach for coffee, maybe even 2 cups, thinking it'll jumpstart your energy. But here's the truth, no one told you. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach triggers a 30–60% surge in adrenaline. That's not energy, that's your brain going into fight or flight mode. And when you're over 60, that adrenaline rush comes at a cost. Blood vessels constrict, pulse skyrockets, your digestive system goes into panic, and your brain receives less oxygen, not more. Thomas, 69, ended up in the ER 3 times, thinking he was having heart attacks. It wasn't cardiac disease. It was coffee-induced acid reflux and adrenaline overload, all from drinking caffeine before eating. What to do? Eat a buffer bite. First half a banana, 5 almonds, or 1 boiled egg. Wait 30 minutes before a second cup. Limit total caffeine to 150 ml in the morning. You don't need to quit coffee, you need to respect it. Think of coffee like gasoline. If you pour it into an empty engine, it combusts. If you feed your body first, it runs smooth, strong, and focused. Number 3, ignoring mild, morning dizziness, slurred words, or numb fingers. It's just grogginess, right? Maybe you stood up too fast, or your words came out funny, but only for a few seconds. Your hand felt tingly, but then it passed. Here's what I need you to know. These are not quirks of aging. They are your brain waving a red flag. They are often signs of a transient ischemic attack, a TIA, or mini stroke. A TIA is like your brain's rehearsal for a stroke. It's a dress rehearsal for disaster, and many seniors brush them off, missing the crucial window to get help. Margaret had been having these episodes slurred speech weak grip for weeks before her collapse. She thought she was just tired. In reality, she was getting repeated neurological warnings that her brain was under threat. What to do? Memorize the fast drill. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech slurred. Time to call 911. Even if symptoms disappear in minutes, log the time, the symptoms, and call your doctor immediately. We don't get to choose when a stroke happens, but we can recognize the signs and act before it steals our independence. If this speaks to your story, tell us in the comments below. Seniors around the world are listening and learning from you. Number 2, taking all your morning medications at once, especially with coffee. Margaret, like so many seniors, had a system. All her pills, blood pressure, thyroid, aspirin went down with 1 big gulp of coffee. Efficient, right? But here's what was happening inside her body. Some of her medications were competing, others were canceling each other out. And the coffee, it was speeding up absorption in dangerous ways. One study in the Journal of Geriatric Pharmacology showed that caffeine can amplify or blunt the effects of common heart medications. In Margaret's case, her beta blocker combined with coffee caused her blood pressure to crash, leaving her dizzy, confused, and at risk for a fall, or worse. Ruth, another patient of mine, was getting readings of 90/58 just an hour after her morning meds and had no idea why. What to do? Use a pill organizer with time of day slots. Read every label. Take with food and avoid caffeine. Really matter. Space medications by at least 30 minutes when possible. Always check with your doctor or pharmacist before adjusting. Your medications are there to protect you, but only if they're taken the right way. Swallowing a handful of pills with coffee may feel like routine, but in reality, it could be the reason you feel foggy, weak, or unstable all morning long. Don't guess with your health. Time matters. Sequence matters. Your brain depends on it. Ved 1. Staying in bed. Scrolling on your phone. While ignoring a full bladder. It sounds innocent. You wake up, blink into the morning light, and reach for your phone. Maybe you check the weather, read the news, reply to a message or 2. Meanwhile, your bladder is full, but you figure you can wait a few minutes. But your body, it's under pressure, literally. Holding in urine first thing in the morning can trigger a sudden spike in blood pressure and heart rate, especially in seniors. Your kidneys have been working all night. That full bladder puts strain on your vagus nerve, triggering a sympathetic response, what doctors call a pressor effect. And if you're already prone to high blood pressure, it can send your system into overdrive. Frank at 68 thought his morning heart pounding was from anxiety. In reality, it was the strain of ignoring his bladder and staying horizontal for too long. What to do? Get up within 5 minutes of waking, no excuses. Use the bathroom first, then start your morning slowly. If you're waking to urinate more than twice a night, reduce evening fluids and talk to your doctor about possible prostate or diuretic issues. The quiet decision to stay in bed, scrolling, ignoring your body's natural signals, isn't just a bad habit. For some, it's the first domino in a chain reaction that leads to dizziness, arrhythmia, or worse. You've lived long enough to trust your body. When it speaks even through silence, listen. You've been avoiding this for years, but it might be exactly what your brain needs. We've just uncovered 7 morning habits that could quietly damage your brain, and now you might be wondering, have I already done too much damage? It's a painful thought, but here's the twist. Your brain is not broken, it's rebuilding, and the body, even in its 60s, 70s, or 80s, is still remarkably ready to recover, adapt, and renew itself, especially when you remove the obstacles. Let me tell you about Helen. She's 74, former nurse, sharp mind, big heart. For years, she avoided something she thought was bad for her heart: salt. She cooked bland meals, skipped electrolytes, and drank water like a champion, all because of a single line she heard in the 90s. Salt raises blood pressure. But Helen kept feeling foggy, dizzy, tired. Every morning, she said she felt like she was wading through wet cement. And here's what shocked her, and most of my patients. Too little salt can be just as dangerous as too much, especially for seniors. That's right. In aging bodies, low sodium levels can lead to brain fog, low blood pressure crashes, muscle weakness, and even increased fall risk. In fact, the Journal of the American Geriatric Society published a study showing that mild chronic hyponatremia, low sodium, was directly linked to cognitive decline in older adults. We reintroduced natural sodium into Helen's diet, a pinch of sea salt in her morning water, some lightly salted nuts mid-morning, a little broth in the afternoon. Within 10 days, Helen's brain fog lifted, her dizziness was gone, and she smiled at me and said, "Doctor, I feel like someone finally plugged me back in." Now, this is not a license to drown your food in table salt or live on chips. It's about understanding that balance is key, and fear-based nutrition can be just as harmful as indulgence. This is the twist most seniors never hear. Healing isn't just about avoiding the bad, it's about restoring the good. And sometimes, the very thing you've been told to fear might be the missing link your body has been begging for. You don't need radical diets. You don't need extreme routines. What you need is to tune into your body's signals and respond with care, not fear. Because the real threat isn't the salt, or the coffee, or the phone. The real threat is not knowing the difference between a habit and a warning sign. You are not broken, you are rebuilding. Every breath you take, every small change you make, is your body trying desperately to heal. The truth is, your brain hasn't given up on you. It's not too late. And no matter how many mornings you've started with mistakes, tomorrow can be different. You've now seen what's hiding inside your daily routine. You've seen how one skipped glass of water, one dizzy step out of bed, one pill taken with coffee can send ripples through your brain and body. But you've also seen the solution: simple, steady, science-backed, and within your reach. If even one of these habits opened your eyes, if you believe your brain is still worth protecting, then make that choice. Make it now. Choose to wake up tomorrow with intention. Choose to protect the brain that has carried you through decades. Choose to listen when your body whispers before it screams. If you believe healing has no age limit, subscribe. If you believe your brain deserves one more chance, share this with someone who needs it. Let's walk into tomorrow, sharper, steadier, stronger, together.